enough days have passed since the latest patch, with Jailer getting removed from the game for a while, and in this video I will show you what are the best Hearthstone decks right now. I'm pretty sure we will be getting another batch of information maybe on Tuesday, and it's probably gonna get implemented on Thursday, so still, the meta is not gonna be like this for long, but then again, it's probably not gonna change that much either. Anyway, in this video, I will give you 5 of the best decks in Hearthstone right now, show you their mulligans, win rates, as well as some general tips for them, and we'll also look at all of the other working archetypes for each class, so stick around to the end. If you're serious about Hearthstone, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can have me for some Hearthstone coaching. Now, let's check out the decks.
Not prepared!
The first deck on the list is actually still gonna be a frickin' Druid, and that's getting a little bit annoying honestly, because even with Jailer out, a very similar version is still going rampant out there. This variant is obviously not relying on Jailer, nor on Tony, as well as on Khan, but it still has a very mean punch with the help of Ignis, and a lot of damage from hand. The main win condition with this deck would be for you to get your Ignis and hopefully create a Wind Fury weapon and slam them very hard with the help of your Solar Eclipse, Harmonic Mood, Bounce, Rake, and anything in between, and you also have your Photographer Fizzle, so you can get extra copies of those spells and cards, and you're even running ETC, which also runs Freya, which can also duplicate your hand. I'm really not sure you guys should be picking this deck up right now, given the fact it's gonna be a pretty hard deck to actually learn, and also it's probably not gonna stick around because the devs are actively looking for a way to nerf Druid, and jailing the Jailer was just a temporary precaution. So yeah, I'm showing you this deck mostly so you guys know what to expect from Druid right now. But yeah, if you have the cards, you might want to give it a go. Matchup wise, we don't have that much stats right now, so let's just skip that. And as for the mulligan, here's what the stats show going first. And I'm gonna go with the Kept instead, because there's too many exclamation points for them to be very good. But yeah, going first, people are keeping Embrace of Nature. The Frost Lotus is pretty nice because you want to be holding it in your hand for a few turns so it draws more. Aquatic Form is great, Lifebinder's Gift. Solar Eclipse is not really something you're gonna normally keep alone, but if you already have Embrace of Nature, you might actually hold on to it as well like that, even though, like I said, you could also want to be using it to double up your attack gain. Planted Evidence is not bad, so you can discover some early game stuff. Rake is also not horrible, and you could even straight up keep Nourish. Spread the Word might also be a consideration, especially if you already have maybe Harmonic Mood. As for One on the Coin, the situation is basically the same, so yeah, again, you might want to be keeping the same stuff. For other good Druid decks right now, we also have Drum Druid still doing very strong, and we have different variations of it. Some are running Yogg, others are running Top Yor still, but yeah, basically right now it's either Ramp or Drum Druid for the class. Trend Druid is also still out there, but as you can see, the stats are not that amazing. On the number 2 spot, we have a variant of Arcane Hunter, which is a bit different from what it used to be, but it's definitely very powerful right now, and it's even very strong in top 1000. This one again is a bit more board-centric, and it's running things like Bunch of Bananas, a Vicious Slither Spear for early game pressure, Barrel of Monkeys is pretty decent, and we're also running the new AoE minion, Prison Breaker, which also deals phase damage. Yaxaron is also in this one, and the rest looks pretty much the same like the good old Arcane Hunter. We're no longer running the secret package in this one, however, which definitely does feel a little bit off, but it is indeed a very powerful deck right now with about 60% win rate and a very big sample size. Matchup wise, here's what the stats show, and you're not having any bad matchups from the popular ones at least, so climbing should not be an issue. And as for the mulligan, here's what the stats show going first, and you want your Bananas, Awakened Tremors, even though Bananas I wouldn't really keep if I already don't have a good one drop like, let's say, a Vicious Slither Spear, and you're also pulling it from Trinket Tracker, so really not sure why the Bananas are this high on the keep list, but it is what it is. Ancient Kraken Bane is also something I usually wouldn't really keep, especially when going first. Awakened Tremor is definitely nice, Barrel of Monkeys is also good. Depending on your hand, Silvermoon might also be a keep, especially if you already have your Eversong Portal. As for On the Coin, again, here's what it looks like, and the portal becomes a lot more keepable here, as well as your Halderon. Celestial Shot is a bit high on the keep list, as well as Conjured Arrow, and I wouldn't really keep either of those. But still, your good early game with Monkeys, Awakened Tremors, Trinket Tracker, still pretty decent stuff. For other good Hunter decks out there right now, we also have just Arcane Hunter with the secret package. We also have the variant with collateral damage, which is doing very strong. And yeah, those would be the 3 main archetypes for Hunter right now, even though Hound Hunter is still usable, but it's just a fraction of what it used to be. On the number 3 spot, we also have Silverhand Paladin, which has been doing very well for quite a while now. and this is still using the good old Silverhand package included in the usual Pure Pally list. You have a lot of good early game, you have a lot of dude synergies, including Jukebox Totem, which is also a mech and totem, so it's even better for your Purator like that. Warhorse Trainer and Buffet Beginner are insanely strong, and the new Crusader Aura is also huge for the class right now. Amidas is a very powerful card in this one because it does allow your minions to survive AoEs a lot more easily, and she can also buff your board with +2/+2, which is usually what you want her for. And a Chronos can swing the board in your favor, the Countess can discover some OTKs, or just generally a ton of stats for cheap. And yeah, all around the class is right now very, very powerful like this. Matchup wise, you don't really have too many bad ones, but Rainbow Mage as well as Enrage Warrior might be a problem. But the rest, as you can see, very green. For the mulligan, going first and second, Buffet Biggin is always going to be great, Muster for Battle is also usually amazing, but you do also want to have at least a 1-drop, and your Sanguine Soldier and your Sinful Sous Chef would be your best keeps. Jukebox Totem is also pretty nice, and if you don't have any other 1-drops, Righteous Protector might also be a keep. If you already have a good sticky 1-drop, Hand of a Doll might also be a keep, and if you're already curving out, Crusader Aura might also be a good consideration. Boogie Down, I'd say, is always not a bad keep as well. On the coin, the situation is pretty much the same, and yeah, literally same stuff, aside from Blood Matriarch Viadrin also becoming very good here, because you get to coin her out with some stuff on curve. For other good Paladin decks out there right now, Aggro Pally is also doing quite well, with the Hawk Strider Rancher, and there's also Urban Pally lists with decent enough win rate for it to be a consideration, sitting at 54% right now. Dancing Pally still under 50, so be careful with that one, even though it does look fun. On the number 4 spot, we do have Enrage Warrior, which has been very powerful lately after the inclusion of the mini set, with the help of the new Battlesworn Faceless. The best variant for Enrage Warrior keeps changing, and it's either the one with Remornia and Growmash, or the one that actually cuts it out for faster cards, but right now this one seems to be the better pick. We're no longer running the Rift package in this one, but instead we have a lot more powerful fire spells with the inclusion of Trial by Fire, which has been proven to be very amazing. Jam Session is also insane in this one, and yeah, with the new Battlesworn Faceless, you can make a very huge minion very fast and steal the game just like that, or you can just OTK him later with a very big Olgra, or Remornia, or Growmash, or heck, even a Crazed Wretch, which you could double up with the help of Battlesworn Faceless. Matchup wise, Ram Druid right now is not going to be great for you, but after they tone it down it should be even better. Control Priest is not going to be amazing, even though you can OTK them, but it's not very easy because they also have silence and whatnot. Thaddeus Warlock is also a bit too fast for you and has quite a few taunts, but all around, climbing still should not be that big a deal. For the mulligan, here's what it looks like going first, and Tori Belor is usually amazing, Location is great, Steam Guardian helps you get extra card draw and also gives you a good discount, so it's pretty nice. Alkalite of Pain is also pretty good, Imbued Axe, Foul Leg, and Anima Extractor definitely always great. And for 1 on the coin, it's pretty much the same thing, but also Jam Session becomes a bit more keepable here, so keep that in mind. Control Warrior is also doing still well for the class, even though it's not as amazing as it used to be, it's still very much usable. This one has very high win rate, but very small sample size, and lower we can see one with a very high sample size and not that big a win rate, but still you can see you will be able to climb with control as well. And on the last spot we actually have Secret Rogue of all things, which has been seeing a rise in power lately, with the help of the new AoE minion, which is gonna help you stay alive longer. This one's running the Concoction package as well as the Secret package, and the Ghastly Gravedigger is absolutely awful, because it gives a lot of negative tempo for the opponent, and that can be pretty bad. You also have Yoxeron in this one, and you can Shadow Step it a bunch of times, and that can be disgusting. And you have all around solid minions like Queen Ashara and Krakatoa in here, so that can help you out as well. Matchup wise, it's not super popular just yet, but it's good against Plague Decay as well as Control Warrior, so at least it has that going for it. As for the mulligan, here's what the stats show going first, and again we're gonna have to look at the kept, and as you can see the Concoction package is pretty nice, the Private Eye is good, depending on the matchup Bone Spike might help, tempoing out Ocean Master Putricide could also be amazing, especially if you're against something like a Paladin. Double Cross can help you with the card draw. Prep, I guess you could hold on to it with something like a Potion Belt already or something. And Ghastly Gravedigger can also be very nice on curve as well. As for 1 on the coin, the situation is not much different, but Queen Ashara becomes a bit more keepable here because you are gonna have the coin, and technically you could actually coin her out as soon as turn 4 and play a random Colossal on 5, which could be brutal. For other good rogue decks, we also have Mech Rogue still doing quite fine. Miracle Rogue is also pretty amazing with a good sample size. There's also this new Weapon Rogue out there, which is not running a weapon, but it's just buffing your hero power a lot. But yeah, that's about it for the class right now. And for the classes we haven't mentioned, starting off with Death Knight, Plague Death Knight is still quite amazing, and it's pretty popular too, and the best variants are definitely the ones with the Unholy package. I did show you this variant, which is actually not even running great strength, and that one is actually very consistent too, but there's also just the triple Unholy, which is actually doing best for the class right now. We're gonna have to scroll down quite a while to actually see anything different than Plague and Unholy, so that's about it for the class right now. With Demon Hunter, the only represented archetype right now would be Relic Demon Hunter, and it's having decent stats, so it's definitely usable. For Mage, we have plenty of different iterations of Rainbow Mage doing quite well right now, including in top 1000 Legends. There's also this new Elemental Mage, but as you can see, the win rate is nothing to write home about. With Priest, I almost did include Shadow Priest because it's so freaking popular right now, and also the win rate is pretty huge. But the other decks I showed you have about 58, so this one is a bit shy from the sweet spot we're looking for, but it's definitely a very usable archetype still, games are fast, and it's not a very hard deck to pilot either. Control Priest is still also out there, even though it's not as amazing as it used to and games are slow as hell, but it's definitely something you might consider. With Shaman, Totem Shaman would be the best pick for the class right now, with a very big sample size but not that high win rate. There's this new Yogg Shaman out there as well, which is looking kinda weird and is abusing the weapon and whatnot. And Nature Shaman is definitely not doing as well as it used to. And with Warlock, Thaddeus Warlock would be your best bet right now. Control Warlock is still decently usable. And we also have Curse Warlock, which also has decent enough stats. But that's about it for the Warlock class right now. And that's gonna be it for this top 5, guys. Hope this helps you figure out what you want to be climbing with in the new Hearthstone season. Again, be careful crafting too much, because we should be hearing news for nerfs on Tuesday. And if you're serious about Hearthstone, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video, or stream.